diuretics have just kicked in. Oh, and so the laxatives. So those of you who came down the front, it wasn't such a good idea after all, was it? Oh, and just clear a path for me through that bottom of the stairs will be fine. You see, the problem is, when you get to my age, your life is ruled by doctors. And their lives are ruled by pills. I've got a pill that keeps things in that want to come out. I've got another pill that pushes things out that want to stay in. I've got another pill that keeps things in that have to stay in. And another pill that keeps things down when they want to go up. And like me, this guy also has a pill for something that doesn't want to go up at all. And that's just the awful thing about being 58, being middle-aged, being late middle-aged. I heard somebody my age the other day described as elderly. What an insulting word. You notice I haven't even sworn at that word yet, because I do want to be known as a clean comic. I don't say words like fucking and cunt, because although I've been only in this business for 6 months, I've discovered there are enough fucking cunts in it as it is, without me having to toss a few more in. Oh, I had... There's one. The good thing about being 58, though, is you've learned a lot, particularly in the art of mystifying and satisfying a woman. How old are you, brother?
36.
36? I've got 22 years on you. Daniel, how old are you?
19.
19 and 36 is less than 58. So, that means I've got a number of years on the two of you combined, which also means that a threesome with you two is nowhere near as good as a one-on-one with me. Having said that, of course, I've picked up a few hobbies during lockdown. One of them was watching television. I was watching some TV right before it came out, and I switched it on, and there was this picture of this fat man in an armchair, naked, crying and wanking. I thought, whoa, this is a bit art house for Channel 7. Geez, on Channel 9 as well. Well, of course he's on SBS World Movies. That's probably they're all taking the same feed. But, oh. Well, he wasn't on Netflix. And that was when I realised I had to get up and turn the television on. I'll let that one sit for a second. But the other thing about, despite the fact that I do claim a fair amount of experience, it never stops the end of breakup, the end of relationships. It never prevents a breakup. Not every relationship ends in the bedroom. And 4 weeks from now, I sign my divorce papers.
Woo!
She's in tonight. Clearly. It was good though. I mean, lockdown was good for that. I mean, I lost 70 kilos during lockdown. Yeah. I think that's worth a bit of applause. Yeah, she lives in Ballarat now. But there's some of the special children are in tonight. I think the ones who are picking things up a little bit later than everyone else. Just a warning for all the others. But the thing is, with this experience, I did what most of us in the comedy world would do when this is going on. I wrote a couple of jokes to sell it to mark what happened, and I'll give them to you now because you're so warm and kind. Except for you. It's guy walks into a bar and the barman says, "You alright, mate?" He says, "No." "What's wrong?" "Women. Women are wrong. You put them on a pedestal, you love them, you treat them well like a princess. Everything you do for them, you pay for everything. And what do? They cast you aside like used toilet paper. It's not fair. Oh God, it hurts so much. And the other joke. I won't do that because time's are wasting and it's not as funny as the first one. So I'll leave you with a thought. Yeah, it was a good one, wasn't it? Happy Houston Dundee, have a great night. Ladies and gentlemen, please make a huge noise for Houston Dunleavy. There is a moment where sometimes you're going to have too fucking much tension. No matter how much I reckon you're into whatever part it is you're playing, and I reckon that moment was just at the bit where you screamed for the last time. But I'll tell you what though, I'm beginning to appreciate old people who say being old's fucked. For a long period of time I just thought, who cares about you? But now I'm one of them. I'm incredibly interested in the subject matter. And recently I've been trying to sort of, get a bit fit. You got to try and get a bit fit. And what was that? Taxi. A taxi? Was it just like bang? Yeah? But I thought you yelled out Uber now for that. Why haven't someone changed that shit up? Yeah? Don't you worry, you'll be standing around a bar, someone drops a glass and then goes, "Taxi." Well, what's a taxi? Could happen. That's how progress works. They're trying to get fit because I'm going out and do a bit of running and stuff. Does anybody do that? Running? Yeah. Like I've heard women have to do it all the time. I don't know, it's just like I read the news. It's hard running, but what breaks your heart even more? Recently, just this evening, I went out for a run. I took my daughter and her friend out for a 2K run, and her friend just fucked off into the distance. Like, it's so depressing to watch a 10-year-old just run away from you, and you have no way of catching them. And that's when I realised that's why I didn't get into the priesthood. They're hard work. I don't know whether you guys have worked out the bit about being supportive, making some noise, but I may have telegraphed that punchline a bit when I mentioned the kid, right? But you probably could see it coming, but fuck me, it was pretty well done. Don't you think? Like the timing all worked out. And the truth of it is, I hadn't written that punchline till I got up here. That's how I don't give a fuck. Yeah? Right? I just get up here and come up with a premise and think, oh no, I'll have a punchline for this, and every single time it's a Catholic priest. So, okay, some of you didn't go to Station 59, that was pretty much what we did. Write premises and just go, the punchline's always a Catholic priest. I was shopping at Coles, right? That's mad, isn't it? You know, have you noticed how some people like to put bananas in their thing? Apparently that means you're single. I thought, oh, that's weird. So I just travel around with a Bible. You know, that's how they do it. Anyway, that's how it works. Feel free to play it. It was a good game in the mid-2000s or whatever. People need to catch up with comedy and what makes it good. We're ready to crack on with the show? Yeah! Everybody, come on! Make some bloody noise and welcome to the stage next act, Hamish Steele!
Alright, thanks guys. It's so nice to be back here at the Highlander, honestly. Thanks everyone for coming out. You all look great, except for you, Dooley. Yeah, actually so much better specifically to be the Highlander, where bombing is more socially acceptable. Nay, embraced, because I have been eating shit all across Melbourne, guys. And tonight is not going to be an exception. 2 months in, I'm shit. It does make me reflect on the advice that I got. Like, before I started, I reached out to a more experienced comedian, just like, you know, do you have any tips on what to do? And he proceeded to give me a 7-minute monologue on how to drive off the Westgate Freeway. That's true. His name is David Boyle. It's on his podcast. And I think it's actually 12 minutes. So strap in, and it's sound advice. Most sets I leave thinking, that's not a bad idea. Anyone got any fucking cocaine here or what? No?
Weed.
Or weed? It's pretty boring. I guess I'll just power through anyway. I will be honest, I am actually coming off a bit of a bender from the weekend. Who had a big weekend? I saw Carl over there. I know you had a big weekend, buddy. We're at the same fucking party. But I've realised you don't really know how big of a weekend you've had till you've had some distance from the event. Like, there's the only real metric that I think that can really understand your bender that you had are your Uber Eats stats. Like, you gotta look at that Uber Eats box score to know what the fuck happened. Like, Sunday morning, I woke up and I had a breakfast HSP. I had a lunch pizza with a 1.25 litre Coke. I finished it off with some burgers. That is the bender equivalent of a triple-double. I was putting up big numbers, man. Russell Westbrook out here. Also, don't know why the kids are calling it vomiting and tactful vom. I power munt. It has bass. It's kind of soft. I also think it's soft about people complaining about Karens. My mum demands to speak to managers' dads. Jesus Christ, that's soft. Karen, tactful voms. My mum power munts. She does not fuck around. You should see how mad she gets once she realises I've ordered fucking 8 Uber Eats off her account over the weekend. Every weekend. Also don't know what the big deal is about Married at First Sight. Just a traditional Indian wedding. Same thing. I've never actually seen it. I don't know what it's about, but I'm pretty sure it's contributing to global warming. Why are there so many versions of The Bachelor? There's like 4 fucking versions of The Bachelor, like from 12 different countries. You've got The Bachelor, Bachelorette, and all of a sudden The Bachelor's in Paradise, Bachelor's in fucking space, Bachelor's on ice. With Charlie Sheen would watch that. I think that'd be pretty entertaining. Can't imagine the type of Uber Eats box score that guy's putting up now. He's like the Michael Jordan. I've just recently developed this slight fear of heights. I hope you guys get it too. Like, something happens, like when you're near a balcony or a tall edge, just this involuntary urge to jump over. It's just me, like, ultimately falling to my certain death. Which I do not want. Look, I'm not crazy, it's a thing. It's called high place phenomenon. HPP, not to be confused with HSPs, which are delicious. And sometimes absolutely necessary for breakfast. But it's started to manifest and spill over other parts of my life. Like the other day, I was walking down the street and there was some kids in a car. Like the back seat of the window was open. All of a sudden I just got the urge to snatch these kids out. I don't want kids, let alone these shitty kids. What am I gonna do with them? No urge. I had to walk 10 meters away from the car out of fear I might snatch some kids. I think that's the best time for me to just get the fuck off the stage there. I might work that last bit out. I don't know. It could just go straight in the trash, to be honest. Anyway, thanks guys. And if you do have any code, please hit me up.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Hammy Studio! I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like the lessons that I'm giving out here on this stage you're listening too much there, Hamish. Like, you're going to snatch some kids. What's the punchline? Hey, it's not like I'm a Catholic priest. I mean, are you people even listening to the masters? You know, the people who've been in the industry for years and know exactly what comedy really is, like me? Obviously not. So there's the punchline for you, mate. You can have that for free. I was walking down the street, thought I might snatch some kids. I thought, I can't do that. I haven't done my 7 years in the seminary. I'm working my ass off here. just trying to help you, cunts. Oh man, I'll tell you what though. This is the truth. I have diverticular disease. Look it up. It's a condition I'll die with, right? Probably could kill me, whatever, right? You can't cure it. It's bad. You get it from eating shit food for about the first 40 years of your life. So when a dude says, I fucking had a halal snake pack for breakfast, and then I had a pizza for lunch and burgers for dinner, that makes me want to cry. Like, I was triggered by that, genuinely triggered by just talking like that. I can eat whatever I like and I don't experience gut-bursting pain. So get fucked, Hamish. Just coming around here, taunting the old people with your youth and complaining about how hard comedy is and how much of a prick David Boyle is. It's not news. David Boyle's always been a prick. You know, like, I still remember the time when, you know, David Boyle was scared of Eurydice Dixon. He was scared of her. Like, he wouldn't, why? Because he's a dickhead, right? Because he did, this isn't even comedy, but he did the season with us in 2018, and part of doing free comedy, like words to the wise, when COVID's not on, you got to do some flyering. It's a group effort, right? And Eurydice was up there flyering all the time up at the town hall, busting her balls, whatever it is they do. You know, just working hard, right? And I had to crack on with David all the time. He's like, oh man, I'm a trainee, I have to come late. Oh, fucking so that's great, man. Now you finish your show, go down to the town hall, do some flyering. Eurydice's down there. And he just, without a word lie, he goes, yeah, I'm scared of her. I said, dude, she's a 22-year-old woman. Like, what the fuck? And she goes, well, I just think she hates me. I go, everyone hates you. There's not a reason to not go flying that someone hates you. Right? And again, this is what you do. You know, I busted his balls. I said, get down there and fly. And he goes, oh, she's really nice, man. I had a really good time. I said, well, she's the only person who fucking would talk to you, so well done, you know? Anyway, that's David Boyle. Anyway, crack on one more time. Give a round of applause for Hammy Studio. Come on stage, Mr. Alex Collins.
I noticed the excitement dropped off just as you noticed how ginger I was. It's rude. Like, I like to think of myself as a bit of an optimist, which is really rough when you grow up ginger and then you end up bald. It's like this massive double fuck you. But it is, but all it really does is make me really popular on Are You OK Day, so I'm kind of okay with it. Although, like, I bought this new jumper today, and like, it's pretty much one of the first times I've worn it. And I like it, right? But the problem is, I've had this purple beanie for a couple of years. Now, I've had like 4 different people come up to me today and comment about how fucking purple I am. It's fair, but I just think that it's really unfortunate because, like, purple's a weird colour because people put all sorts of frustrations onto it and shit, but like, all of a sudden recognising I'm very purple, like, what the fuck? I reckon I'm just the worst I think I can look like is at least I look like a Wiggles drug dealer. Like not threatening, but I might fucking sell something that wakes up Jeff. Like, You know what I mean? Just like, oh, fucking wake up, Jeff. Fuck, I can't sleep anyway. Anyway, that's a fucking weird tangent to go off. Mateo, I like you. I met him earlier. He's up from Darwin. Like, has anyone here come further away than Darwin to see the show tonight? No. Fucking, that's very definitive. Like, you're just like, no, fucking Darwin's a long way away and we've shut our borders, so no. You're probably right. But like, has anyone else here actually not from Melbourne? Well, I know you. Like, hey, you guys from Darwin, that's the same thing. But like, it's weird though, because like, I used to love meeting all the people from other parts of the world, and now I'm stuck talking about to everyone else from Melbourne. And like, that sucks, because I talk about all sorts of random shit, and people from Melbourne get a little bit uptight when you start talking about midgets. Like, I know, I love midgets. Like, I think it's really rough when you define them as little people. Like, I think that's more reductive than calling them midgets. Anyway, I'm just going off from weird
midgets get all the pussy.
See, like, another reason why you need to love midgets. It's just simple, right? But it's weird though, because I probably shouldn't go into this from my love of midgets. I should probably talk about being a Catholic priest. That's the punchline I should use, right? See, fuck. Anyway, it's okay.
There's a joke in there.
I know there is. I should just do it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love midgets.
Want to walk past the church.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do this. Now, wouldn't it suck if you're a midget priest and all the other priests started hitting on you? That one might have to actually stay.
You get comedy.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, because they've got the little tiny collar on and it looks huge, like a big comedian. Oh, fuck. Anyone know any midgets? Like, no, I only know a few in Queensland. Like, it's fucked up. When I was younger, I actually really wanted to get a whole heap of midgets, like 12 midget friends. I only ended up collecting 2. And it's weird because I wanted to get 12 of them and run in elevators all day, right? And then as people go to get in, like, oh, are we like, what's your problem? It's only half full. See? I told you, I love midgets. The problem is, though, my sister's just had a kid, right, and now I'm supposed to be some sort of male role model. Fucking, that's the right reaction. Just, alright? But the weird, I know, it's fucked up, all these different views, and but it's weird though, because like, as soon as she had a kid, all of a sudden she's got a whole heap of friends who've got kids. So now, anytime any of them have got questions about dicks, they call me. Right, so all of a sudden I'm getting all my friends and my sister's friends calling me with their dick questions, and I think I'm being too honest, right? Because I think too many of them are finding out about my dick, right? And there's too much honesty. And I also keep getting asked about circumcision, and I have to keep saying no, just for the simple fact that I can't be responsible for a whole series of dick mutilations. Fuck, we're going back to Catholic priests again. Fuck. But it's weird though, because like last time I actually had to babysit, like, I proved I'm an expert in failure because, like, I was looking after my little sister and my grandma died, right? My grandma was a miniature horse, but, like, my little sister loved to ride her and she'd be riding her along and all of a sudden, grandma died, right? And that's not one thing, but going to school the next day and going like, yeah, grandma died. My sister really shouldn't have been riding her so hard. Like, has its limits, right? And now she expects me to be some sort of role model. Like, fuck, no, she's going to confuse me for another Wiggles drug dealer. Like, see, it would have been better context there. Anyway, it's like, I like you. Your last very enthusiastic. No, like, it's fucked up though, because I actually did want to own a daycare centre when I was younger, right? I did. I had a place up in Queensland in the Sunshine Coast, about half an hour from the beach near the mountains called Majimba. And I wanted to go up there and open up Ginger Ninjas and Jimba Jimboree. And like, all my hopes were gone when Grandma died. Like, it was fucked up. But like, my sisters though, they're a bit weird because they are very much too much information people. And like, her best friend broke up with her partner. And then all of a sudden, I got a phone call asking if I wanted a slightly used fleshlight. Like, has anyone here heard about a fleshlight?
Yep.
Yep. Has anyone here ever used one? I haven't had a yes yet, but I can't wait till I do.
Yep.
No? You have used a fleshlight. I tell you, I don't doubt that's a real yes. Is that an actual real yes? You do have a fleshlight? Had. And then you broke it. You broke it. Fuck, Katie, I kind of feel sorry for you. Everyone, this is Katie and Mateo. They're from Darwin. They're down here to plant trees and take money from the government. Mateo's Aboriginal. They've got nothing connecting tissue. I'm not going to say that. But you broke a fleshlight, right? How do you break a fleshlight? You got to tell me.
I'll tell you.
Oh, fuck. Anyway, Yeah. So anyway, for anyone who doesn't know what a fleshlight is, it's just a silicon vagina, really. And it's one of those ones where you just, when your sister calls and asks if you want a slightly used silicon fuck toy, you just look at it and you go, where am I in life? And then I go, no, I don't. And then she's like, oh, it's okay, it's never been actually used. And I'm like, well, what's been done with it? And she's like, oh, it's only been slightly fingered. And I'm like, slightly fingered? She's like, yeah, it broke up before they could use it. And I'm just like, no, I'm not fucking anything that you slightly fingered. Like, that's just something really fucking weird. Another reason why I haven't fucked any of your friends. Anyway, surely I've been up here too long, haven't I? Anyway, let me know how this goes. Do the rest of that.
Alright guys, give it up for Alice Collins! I was going to roll with it, right? So he's talking about flashlights, it's a true story, right? Moved into this flat once, it was around about 10 years ago or something. And sometimes when you're in a flat, I don't know if you've ever moved into a flat, like most of the furniture's gone, you've got to bring in your own furniture. But sometimes like the people who are in the flat before you leave shit behind in weird places. And I was like, I was looking around in a cupboard for something, and I was reaching up on this ledge that was like in this cupboard, it was up here, and I was trying to get something, and then I come across this sock, and I took the sock down, and inside it was a flashlight, right? And I went, oh yeah, I know what that is, right? But you know what's fucked? This is just the truth. You can't help but go, I just got to put my finger inside. Like you can't, like for some reason you go, oh, I hope no one's, first you go, I hope this isn't used, and then you go, oh, I need to find out. And I put my finger in, and sure enough, it was full of fucking, obviously, month-old cum. So, the lesson is, when you do find one, because you will, you'll come across them eventually, like in an attic or something that your grandparents have left behind, resist the urge to check. That's my point from that story. More like a public service announcement. Give it up, please, for Alex Collins! Keep that round of applause going to Casey Gothard!
I have no idea how I'm going to follow a ginger and fleshlights, but we'll give it a try. I do want to say, Alex, not all people hate gingers. Gingers are my favourite flavour of men. I don't know, it's surprising. And I don't understand why more women don't like them, because like, after all those years of like alienation and persecution just downright fucking bullying, there's like no demographic of men more willing and eager to please. Exactly. You get yourself a small one, those little leprechaun motherfuckers, they'd be real lucky at finding a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, you know what I'm saying? And it's also very strange because my mother does love midgets as well. This is not part of my gig, I just find it very fascinating. My mother, we have a group chat in my family where my mother just sends us photos of midgets she sees at our work, and she's like, midget or short person? And that's the entire chat. I'll share it with you all after the show. I don't know if it's funny or discriminatory, but it's, you know, the vibe of our family. We're white people. You know, it's a fine line. Anyway, my name's Casey. Great start to the show. It's my second time here, and thank you so much for having me back. I love it in here. But because it's my second time, I feel like you guys need to like start to know a little bit more about me. I'm single and very happily so. My aunt, that usually gets more cheers. Am I ugly in the city? I'm hot in St Kilda. Anyway, I'm single. My aunt's not very happy that I'm single though. She constantly tries to give me advice on like life and men in general, but it's only using those really corny fucking turns of phrase like, you know, you are what you eat, or like, why let a man buy the cow when he can get the milk for free, you know? And she turns to me at a christening the other day and she goes, you know, Casey, the fastest way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Which is a really weird way of finding out that my uncle's never had his ass eaten before. Nothing.
Don't worry, man. They're just like that tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing you can do about
Sorry,
it.
just flashlight. I don't know. The closest thing that I have is, I don't know, my own. I'm glad some of you found that funny, because she did not. She turns around and she goes, you know, Casey, you can be a fucking asshole sometimes. Like your Auntie Chris, you are what you eat. So I'm an asshole and your husband's an old cunt. Thank you. Okay, it's fucking more about me. I'm a single mom. I just became a single mom. Yeah, I know. Shocking. Silence. But I do have a gorgeous 4-month-old boy at home, which most people find shocking. I think it's because I got my figure back really fast, which some people say is because he's a dog. But grandma's always been a bitch in that sense. Okay, more shit. Last week, true story as well, I need to premise this because people think I'm being mean, but I got stood up for a date by a man with muscular dystrophy. And it just really made me think, is it still considered being stood up if he's in a wheelchair? Say it's fucking true, you blame him, man, it's not me. Okay. What else? Oh, yeah, I've recently been banned from Bumble for attempted human trafficking. Thank you. Basically, Bumble, this is usually the part where I explain what Bumble is, but you're all fucking male comedians here, of course you know what fucking Bumble is. Anyway, for those who don't, Bumble is like a dating app that works off the premise that women message first. Which in theory, fucking great idea. In practice, not so much. Because, like, what the fuck am I supposed to message someone who's like Steve, 2 photos of himself and the boys, and his hobbies are like cryptocurrency and politics? Like, what the fuck do I message that? So, like, in an attempt to, like, stand out from all the other girls, instead of just messaging, like, hey, or how are you? I've started to offer money for items in their profiles. So I'll be like, hey, cool shirt, how much? Or hey, nice dog, $50, question mark. And that was going real well until until I offered money for someone's nephew. Basically the message went, hey, cool looking kid, how much? $sign question mark. And he replied with, ha ha ha, not for sale, lol. Now, is this where I should have changed the topic? Yes. Did I? No. Instead, I messaged back saying, come on, dude. He's got blonde hair and blue eyes, and he's like 4 years old, so I assume he's a virgin. Give me like 4 hours on the black market and an account in the Cayman Islands, and we can be rolling in camels by midnight. His reply was similar to yours, blocked. Now I know what you're thinking, surely that cannot be enough to get you banned from Bumble. And you'd be right. But I found that interaction so much funnier than you guys did, that I continued to do it to every single man that had a child in his photo, in what Bumble later came to describe as a series of concerning behaviour. So you can now find me on Hinge, and sugarDaddy.com. But it's okay though, because I find dating apps like kind of useless and very fucking problematic for a number of reasons. One, they just make you as a person so toxic. Like, I keep finding myself refusing to swipe right on anyone that says that they're just looking for something casual. Because despite that being exactly what I fucking want, I just can't bring myself to swipe right on a slut, you know? Cool. Anyway, also, I find the filtering system ridiculous. Because it's always like distance and height, not, you know, the important stuff like annual income and history of family hair loss. Also, I never really understood the height thing with women, you know. Like, why do they need a man that's taller than them? Like, if you want to be protected, get yourself a fucking knife. I promise you it's going to make you feel safer than your 6 foot tall vegan boyfriend who skates around and lives in Fitzroy. Like, I promise you this. Also, I never really got the mechanics of it. Like, if you are 5 foot fucking nothing and he's 6 foot like 8, like, do you still kneel or is it just more of a ducking situation at that point? I feel like that one's a, oh come on man, that's like a lame one. Okay, I'll just end with the last bit. The main reason I hate dating apps is they're way too much like Uber Eats, and yes, I know, you said Tinder jokes, but it's Bumble, so that's different. Exactly. I mean, if you had enough money, you could go on those sugar-daddy jokes and say that you want. There's one called silverfox.com, you should try it out. Anyway, the main reason that I hate dating apps, they're way too much like, go on.
How do I spell that?
If you can't spell, maybe don't go on the website. They're looking for a certain caliber of person. Main reason I hate dating is, as I say, way too much like Uber Eats, and not nearly enough like TripAdvisor, like fuck your bios and your hobbies. Like, I want star ratings and reviews. So I know Steve is 27 and cries during blowjobs, and insists on calling you by his mother's name, but does pay for dinner and drinks 3.5 stars. Because that's what women in their 20s want to know. We spend all our money on wine and therapy. Let's get into that. And I mean, that's fucking me. I'm sorry I'm not ginger and have a fleshlight. God damn it, people!
Yeah, that's it.
Go on, guys, do it up, please, for Casey. Got on! I mean, you know, that was a great set, obviously, but except for the bit where you said how much for the kid, and of course the punchline should have been, are you ridiculous? Do you see me wearing a dog collar? You know, that's how you do comedy. Anyway, I'm going to keep flogging that dead horse because it's no better than the crazy situation of this interesting audience. You're an interesting audience tonight, I'm sure. You're doing that thing where you're judging every single joke on its merits. That one was funny, but this one I have to really just think about. Just try and go with the flow a bit, you know. Let's get the energy up in the room. I'll try. Actually, obviously, I'm not doing it like Blaze, you know. So the next act, when I bring on the next act, right? He's patronising. Yeah. Okay. You just got to be a little bit below patronising. So, show me how much noise you can make. Come on. Come on, all the way up to patronising. Just be patronising. Just do it. Be fucking patronising. Back on the stage, Chris Jubilee.
Alright, guys. I like Nickelback. I'll just put it out there. I know some of you are like, okay, we can't be friends. For some of you, that's fine. That's probably for the best, from my end as well. I find it weird when people hate Nickelback because it's bogan music, or it's like redneck music. I'm like, you're missing the upside here. This is a chance for bogans and rednecks to express their feelings. That's the silver lining, because they can't do that. Have you ever been to a bogan wedding? The speeches are always the same. It's always like, words can't describe my feelings for you. I'm like, yes, they can. That's what words are for. Like, have a crack at it. Like, the English language has hundreds of thousands of words. It's the language of Shakespeare. Like, if you can't describe your feelings with words, maybe read a fucking book. I don't know. During the day I work as a personal trainer, and it's a fun job. It's changed a lot though. Like, there's a lot of new diet theories now. Like, everyone has to have a new diet theory to be different. Like, I talked to one guy and he said he was on an alkaline diet, which is where you eat low pH foods to try and balance out your pH levels. Like, you eat alkaline foods, and that's how you lose weight. And I gotta hand it to him. After 6 months, he is the most alkaline, obese man I've ever met. I don't get it. Everyone ascribes like a moral value to food now. Like, instead of just healthy or unhealthy, they'll come in, like, I had a client come in and they were like, oh, I was at this wedding on the weekend and there was this beautiful cake, and she was like, oh, I was so naughty. I'm like, naughty? Like, what the fuck did you do with the cake? I used it to smother a small gerbil. I'm like, fuck, that is naughty. I'm gonna hand it to you there. I don't know, it's bizarre. Everyone's got like everyone wants the, you know what people want is they want the maximum benefit for the least amount of effort. Like, I've talked to so many people that are just like, yeah, just get in a hot room, just sweat it out. You know what the answer is? Bikram yoga. I'm like, Bikram yoga is only the answer if the question is, what does vagina sweat smell like? Like, you go into like a regular yoga class, it smells like incense. You go into like a sauna, it smells like eucalyptus. You go into a Bikram yoga class, you're like, I can taste the instructor. Like, I don't know, it's weird. I wish I did jokes that were like more about topical events and news and things. Like, there's a whole like Israel-Palestine thing. I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't have jokes on it. I tell you what I do find weird. Like, let's not circumcise people anymore. Like, I find that weird from the Jewish perspective. Like, I think circumcisions used to make sense like thousands of years ago, right? Because, you know, people would live out in harsh conditions, they wouldn't get a chance to wash, you know, it was very unhygienic. But they still circumcise and they're like, oh yeah, no, it's more hygienic. I'm like, well, don't cut it off. Take a shower. I don't know. I don't know, whatever. Free Palestine, whatever. Fuck it, that's my... I don't know. I don't have a lot of political material as well. Like, I think part of the reason is I'm a moderate. Like, I don't have like one party that I go to. Like, I know it's Melbourne. We're all very green. That's awesome. We all have this little circle jerk. That's fine. That's great. It's just not me. Okay, I jerk alone. I'm happy with that. I think that's how it should be done. But one thing, like, because I find it interesting, like, because I like different bits from different parties, right? Like, if it comes to the environment, yeah, I'm with the Greens. But if it comes to free speech, I'm with the Liberals on that one. Or like the Libertarians. Like, if it comes to like expanding the NDIS, those sorts of things, I'm with Labour. Like, you know, you take it from different positions. But people don't like that. They're always like, oh, that's fence sitting. Oh, what are you going to tell us? You're with Pauline Hanson too? You like Pauline Hanson? I'm like, not in politics, but she had a fucking good fish and chip shop. She did. And I gotta say, look, I don't like her policies in Parliament. Like, I think describing refugees as just a bunch of queue jumpers and like being really anti-queue jumper, that's a bad thing in politics. But in a fish and chip, I fucking love it. Like, if you're someone that comes in and you're standing at the back of a queue in like a fish and chip shop and you jump straight to the front of the queue, I think that's when it's appropriate to say you can fuck off back to where you came from. Like, in a fish and chip shop context, that makes sense. I don't know. I think like Pauline Hanson is like, she's like a progressive person's paradox in some ways. Because she's like a strong, empowered woman who's like a leader of like a major political party. But then you hear her policies and then you kind of wish she'd just stayed in the kitchen. I don't know. Like, you know, one thing I find interesting though is like, regardless of the party, every platform, it's always, we want to create more jobs. Always more jobs. There'll be like 5% unemployment, and they'll be like, yeah, we want to give those people jobs. I'm like, why? Have you ever met the bottom 5%? Like, I know some of you are here. Like, come on, like, I'm sorry, but I don't trust you with scissors. I'm not gonna trust you with a job. Like, you've got to give those jobs to people. Like, I don't know, I find that bizarre. Like, if I was running for Prime Minister, I think I'd come out with the opposite platform. I think I'd come out and I'd be like, I want to eliminate jobs. I want to get the unemployment rate to a healthy 20%. I do. Because, like, okay, sure, you have to invest more in social welfare, you have to invest more in policing, but just think of the level of customer service. That'd be phenomenal. You'd be like, can I get that burger without mayonnaise? They'd be like, yes, because I'm a competent individual. Like, awesome. Can I get that to go? Because I got a tradie coming between 11 and 11:05. Oh, I love it. I just love the idea of that. Anyways, guys, I've had a great time here. You guys are awesome. Keep giving your love to all the other acts. Thank you very much, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, always enjoy Mr. Christian with good days together. Come on, make some noise. And keep that round of applause going for Academy. Kawabata.
Good day, everybody. My name is Akemi. It's great to be here. The other morning, I had this dream that I was sleeping in a huge room with lots of different people, men, women, young and old, mixed race, everybody. And I was lying there like this, and then there was this young guy just above my head, jerking off. Like, I'm gay, so I've never seen a guy jerking off, really. But he was on the floors. I'm not going down there because that'd be too far from my 50-year-old back. But maybe I use this. You know, he was really going off like, I don't know if it's the real, you know, demonstration, but yeah, and that commotion woke me up, still in my dream, but and I yelled at him saying, "Come on, seriously, just go to the bathroom or something," you know. I don't know if why I was still being nice, you know, instructing him to go to the bathroom, you know. I'm very likable that way. I could have just punched him in the head or something. And off he went, and there was this girl lying next to me, and I was just saying, "Can you believe this guy?" You know. And then that's when my alarm woke me up. You know. I hope I'm not turning into straight. But sometimes I wish, you know, if I could just turn to either way whenever I like, you know, just like flicking a switch. Today, I'm gonna be straight, you know, with the guy with man boobs. You know? I still have the thing about the boobs. You know, and as you can see, I've got this very smiley face. You know. I don't know if it's a Japanese thing or I'm like this all the time. I've decided I want to have a beach face. Yeah? Because I'm sick of described as a likable person. If I have a beach face in real life, I will have that in my dream too, you know. I could have punched the guy. I've forgotten. Yeah, so I think I used to have it when I was a kid because kids in my class used to come get me saying, "Hey, Akemi, can you come here and give those boys your mean look because they've been annoying?" You know, then I used like this. And they went, and it really worked, seriously. And I keep forgetting the punchline. Huh? Yeah, and no, it's gone. What was it? I can't remember. It's gone. I'm moving on. I've been living here 25 years now, and people say, "So you're Aussie, hey?" Almost maybe, but I'm trying. You know, I still struggle with some English phrase. Not like Shakespeare language, like in the last story, but you know, so one morning my colleague said, "Oh, you had a snip." I was like, "What?" You know, because the only time I heard those words were about men's things, you know, snip. So my reaction to that was, "I don't have anything down there, snip, you know." And she was like, "No, I meant your hair, you had a haircut." He was laughing so hard, you know, but I was still like this, you know. But I wouldn't mind getting one of those fake things, you know, like fake ones that doesn't squat onto your face. That's it for me today. Thank you.
Come on, guys, give it up, please, for Akemi.
Great moment from Houston there. Well, Academy was going, I can't remember the punchline, he was just whispering it was something to do with a Catholic priest. And that just goes to show the message is getting through. This is where you learn how to do comedy from 2006. That's how I roll. They were the good years for me. Alright, so give it up please one more time for Academy. Come on! Applause going for Daniel. 2-0.
Hey, how's everyone going? That's great. My name is Daniel Toohill. Yes, I'm legally allowed to be in a bar. All right. I'm 19 years old. I will hit puberty soon.
You took Alice's hair.
Sorry? At least I have hair. Yeah, exactly. I'm copper blonde. And no, I am. I'm technically copper blonde. Okay, I had it tested, or caramel orange, if you will, whatever you want, or ranger, or ginger fatty. I don't know. And I, as you can probably tell, I have a part-time job, and I am a coach for gymnastics. Right? I coach little kids gymnastics, and I had to get a working. Okay, cool. There's no priest at the end of this story, just saying.
Well, obviously there is. That's how comedy works.
So I had to get a working...
Can I draw you a diagram?
Yes, please. Can you please draw me a diagram? Thank you. Alright, we'll check back on him in a sec. So I had to get a working with children's check card, right, with the little photos. And those photos never look like you want them to work with children, right? Because it's his face. Whereas my photo looks like that is the child that I'm working with. It's bad, man, it's bad. I also had to get a certificate in first aid. And in first aid, they don't teach you like the minor stuff, right? They just teach you the preservation of life, basically. So, nothing important. And last Tuesday, one of my gymnasts pulled his leg muscle. And I was like, ugh. Well, couldn't you just have a brain aneurysm? Because then I know how to help him, right? I'm a caring person. Jeez Louise. By the way, Jeez Louise is a little nervous tick I have. Just like, I recently have a nervous tick where I just clap randomly. Like, I'll just be like... like, it's so random. I just start giving myself a round of applause. I'm building up the self-esteem that's lacking, that my childhood never had. But my parents, I'm trying to be independent, but my parents just offer to do everything for me, and it pisses me off. It really does. It really does. Thank you for your compassion. Like, Mum, I can pack my lunch myself, you know. I can dress myself, alright? I can shower myself. Anyway. I had a rough childhood. Thank you for your compassion. Yes, there was a priest. What's a pedophile's favourite chair? A pedo stool. Or a high chair, depending on...
Hey!
Or a chair with a dildo on it.
Mate, that's your favourite chair. Anyway, Joe's warning. Not a lot of things piss me off, right? But one thing that really pisses me off is animal testing. Like, can we please stop animal testing? Can't we test on lesser humans? Like, like vegans, or flat earthers. Is there any vegans in tonight? No vegan? No, way too late. Sorry? Are you vegan? Yeah?
Vegan flat earther.
You're a vegan flat earther. Fuck. Jesus.
Calm down.
Alright. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, well, I actually have compassion for vegans, alright? Don't look at me like that. I'm a ginger kid. I have compassion for people who are bullied, alright? Jesus Christ. But no, it's great. I'm trying to adopt a reason to live. I'm trying to adopt this mantra to work smarter, not harder, right? Work smarter, not harder. For example, yeah, woo it out, mate. Yep, fantastic. Good supportive room, Jen. I'm trying to work smarter, not harder. And an example of that is like if I'm at home watching my hentai and it stops, right? Just randomly stops. So I'm like, oh shit, the Wi-Fi goes out. You know what you do? You go over to your neighbour's house, make friends with your neighbour and steal his Wi-Fi password, right? Off the fridge. If you're at school and you're doing some math question that you have no idea how to do, you drop out because it doesn't mean shit, right? If you're getting banned from Bumble and you don't know what to do, right? Here's something you can do. You can order Uber Eats, you know? You can make sure you get the most attractive delivery person in your area, Rahesh or something. At least they'll show up. That's all I'm saying. And deliver something hot and spicy, alright? Back to the drawing board with that joke. Oh man, I wish everyone was drunk. You know what I don't get? Laid. But I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with waiting for the right person because I don't want a girl to be up herself. That's where I want to be. I'll leave you on this. Everyone's so worried about what's in the vaccine. Like, what is in the COVID vaccine? Here's a better question. What the fuck is in a dim sim? That's what I thought. Get the jab. No jab, no play. You know the rules. My name's Daniel Suhill. Thanks for putting on with me. Give it a marvel. Thank you.
Can we guys give it up, please, for Daniel Suhill? And Daniel made a very, very good point. I wish you were all drunk. And there's one way that you can make that happen by going to the bar and buying lots of alcohol. That's what I've always found gets me drunk.
Yes.
This man here from Darwin, he knows what's going on because people in Darwin, even when they're just standing there, they're drinking. It's just how they go about life, isn't it, bro? Up in Darwin. It's fucking brilliant, man. I love that joint. I love that joint just because, you know, my cousin's from Darwin, right? And we were up there and he was telling me, he's going, oh, the doctors told me I've got to stop drinking. I've got to stop. I've got to slow down. So I'm drinking mid-strength. I said, how's that working out for you? He goes, well, I've got to drink twice as much to get as pissed. But I think it's making me more healthy. I said, of course it is. Yeah, we've got it all worked out, bro. Fucking brilliant, you know? Danny was talking about we're working with children check. This will shock the fuck out of you. I've actually got one. He's dead right. Come and check out the picture. I do look like I've tried to join the priesthood there. And what was weird, when I rang up to get it, I rang the lady. I said, hey, I was after getting that working with children check sorted out. And the lady's like, yeah, okay, cool, I just need a few details. And then we're doing that stuff. And just, you know, making small talk, I said, oh, how's your day been going? And she goes, oh, pretty shit, man. So far, all morning, it's just priests ringing me. I said, priests? She goes, yeah, Catholic priests. I said, really? Ringing you? Yeah. I said, what are they ringing you for? And she goes, well, they keep ringing up saying, I work with children. Where do I get this check? Go fuck yourselves. What are we doing? Put your hands together for Daniel Suhill. Come on, make some noise. Come on, the stage, come on.
Hey guys, how we going? Get this, hang on. Jesus Christ, I'm not going to start. All this hair in the way too. It doesn't help. Alright. Oh. And I'm recording this too, so. You can watch back and work out. I know, right? Jesus. Hey guys, so yeah, my name's Trent Mann. We're at music festivals. Some people like to refer to me as David Grohl. And just a few weeks ago, I had this Asian comedian mistake me for Zach from Auntie Donna. No Auntie Donna fans? No? Yeah, got one? Yeah. This actually happened a couple of weeks ago. I was at this shitty pub in Brunswick. And this Asian comedian comes up and goes, oh my god, are you Zach from Auntie Donna? I was like, why would Zach be at a shitty pub in Brunswick? Like, seriously. Just in case the white people in the audience didn't realise,
Asians can be racist too, guys, okay? Just FYI. Okay. So, I know I'm look like the kind of guy that loves his drugs, you know? Woo! Woo! Yeah! I like this guy. But honestly, there's only one real drug that for most drugs I can take them or leave them, but there's one drug that I just keep coming back to, and that's my weed. I love my weed. I love my 420, you know? And I'm not talking about the pies either. But you know, I love my weed that much. I was doing a gig where I was talking about how much I love weed. And at the end of the set, I had this woman approach me, and she told me you shouldn't smoke so much weed. I asked her why. She goes, because it robs you of your motivation. I don't think that's true at all. I mean, I've been smoking weed for the last 17 years, and I've never been more motivated to continue smoking weed every day of my life. Shows what she knows, you know? Yeah, I blame Dr. Dre, you know? I was taking his advice to smoke weed every day, and I'm going to stick to that too until I too become a billionaire. I don't think that's how it works, but I'm 17 years in, guys, so I have to justify my use somehow. So yeah, in fact, I smoke that much weed that some of my mates in Queensland refer to me as the Jesus of pot, right? And it's not just because of my long hair either, right? So what happened was, I was going to this house party up in Queensland. A whole bunch of my mates were going to be there, right? I walked through the door, they were all happy to see me, but I sensed a sadness. So I asked them, what's wrong? They said, Trent, the town is dry at the moment. All we could get were these 2 buds of marijuana. I said, don't fret, my brothers and sisters. Did you know that there is a illegal substance out there called tobacco that you can mix in with your marijuana that'll make it go further and give you a stronger hit? So, I pulled a pouch of tobacco out, chopped it up with the 2 buds, and lo and behold, I had enough for the whole house party. Yeah! Well, that deserves a clap, thank you. Now, unlike the story of Jesus, this one's actually based on facts and not symbolism, guys, okay? So I'm so glad we've got domestic travel again, you know? I just can't wait till we get overseas travel, you know? More than New Zealand anyway, really, like, because for Aussies, that's like domestic, basically. You know, it's basically the same flag too, just someone took a red marker to the stars. But while I'm on the subject of international travel, has anyone noticed, right, when a non-Western person flies to any Western country, the first words in English that they learn is hello, please and thank you. You know, they're very respectful. You know, but when an Aussie does like a short English to Spanish course, he's just like, dude, how do you say fuck in Spanish? Or how do you call someone an asshole in Spanish? And would probably be happy if that's like all they learn during the whole course as well. But imagine if that's all you learn, you fly over to South America, you cross a border forgetting you had cocaine in your pocket, you get thrown into jail, and the only words you know how to say in Spanish is fuck asshole. Let's just say you might as well have just said shotgun to the bottom bunk. But yeah, I like the idea of learning a new language, you know, to immerse myself in a new place, you know, knowing it that well. But the only problem is it doesn't matter how well you learn a new language, I'm still going to be known as that Aussie guy because I've still got this accent. And that got me thinking about the African language Khoisan. Now, Khoisan is an African language with the in it. It's got the clicks in it, guys. Okay? So it made me wonder, like, is there an accent in a click? Like, can anyone pick that up? Like, for example, right, if I was to fly over to Zimbabwe, you know, actually, I'll rewind. Spend years learning Khoisan, fly over to Zimbabwe, walk up to some locals and go, you think they're going to turn to me and go, New Zealander? No, Australian, actually. Oh, close enough, buddy. Close enough. All right, what else do we have? So I'm not a big fan of my sports, like at all, you know. But especially when Australia's like represented in anything, you know, whether it's an overseas sport or the Olympics, it doesn't matter. Because it's that fucking chance that we have. I can't stand it. You know the one, the Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. You know, it makes it sound like a pack of morons.
You know, I mean, for one, so let's break it down, okay? The Aussie. Well, first of all, you're representing Australia in the world, okay? Try and I know we like to shorten things in Australia, but when we're represented in the world, try enunciating the whole fucking word, okay? Instead of just saying the abbreviated version 3 fucking times. And then you got the oi, oi, oi. I mean, it sounds a bit aggressive, right? You know? Well, 1 oi, alright, you're getting someone's attention. 2 ois, I'll excuse as a stutter. But 3? 3 seems like a fucking threat. Like, I know we're descended from convicts, guys, but I think we can do a little bit better than this. You know, in fact, I was at this event, right, a few weeks ago, and there was these 3 guys beside me just sinking piss. And all of a sudden they just broke out into this chant, you know, Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. They went through the whole thing too, Aussie, oi, Aussie, oi, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. By the time they were finished, I just turned to them and go, boys, was that really fucking necessary? Australia's not even being represented at this event. This is an AIDS walk. There's no winner in an AIDS walk, mate. Alright, I'll leave you guys with this one. So, I was driving down the highway a little while ago, and I saw this government billboard, right? It said, speed cameras save lives. I have no fucking idea how that is possible. But anyway, I continue driving. I see this lovely young couple, right? They're changing a tyre on the side of the road. Just so happened to be in front of a speed camera. I thought, I'm not going to get a better opportunity to test out this theory. So I drive my car into the couple. I hit the front of my car and smack down on the asphalt. I know, surprised me too. I turn around, speed camera's done fucking nothing. Still on top of its pole. Hasn't even gotten off to attempt CPR. And if that wasn't enough, the sadistic son of a bitch ended up sending me a photo of the incident 3 weeks later. Alright guys, I've been Trent Mann, thanks for having me.
Come on guys, make some noise please for Trent Mann! We're getting towards the end of this show. Let's keep that round of applause going around the stage. Mr. Gavin Ingham!
Highlander comedy doing a gig, alright? It's a call back from a couple of weeks ago. Chris Myers. Blaze isn't here tonight. It's been a bit of more of a somber affair, a bit more quieter. People aren't getting their fucking faces blown off. And big round of applause to our host. He's, of course, the Reverend Kieran Butler, who's kept mass going for all of us with his fake forwards working with children's card. I recently came out to my parents. My dad is super religious, super Christian, and I'm not even gay. Yeah, I said to him, Dad, I'm gay, and my dad, without skipping a beat, said, hi gay, I'm Dad. And I was like, you fucking serious? He zinged me with a dad joke. When I'm trying to pretend to come out to him, he zinged me with a dad joke, and he loves the dad jokes. He's got a few favourites. One of them is, I don't like camping, it's intense. Grant Catter is my dad. Second one of his favourites is, why did the Scarecrow win a Nobel Prize? Because it was outstanding in its field. I tried to give him some jokes. I gave him a Christian one. I was like, oh, hey, Dad. Genesis 20, verse 9. For God was such a cunt that he smote all the gays because he was probably gay himself and couldn't be asked and was a bit ashamed to tell his dad. He didn't like that joke. He didn't really get where the humour was. My dad's aversion to homosexuality is based in religion. He's so fucking scared of it, and he wants to promote how sinful it is so much that he thinks there'll be a plague of gay dicks will come falling on his house, and then he'll have to suck off all the gay dicks, and then all the gay dicks will jizz on him, and God will be very angry and send him to hell forever. Very silly dad, doesn't even make any fucking sense. How you going, Carl?
Good, you came in at a funny time. Sucking off gay dicks, Carlson. Oh, fuck, I better get in there. His brother, my Uncle Oz, is similar. He's also both a jokester and a gayist. But he doesn't hate gays, he just thinks they're funny, he just thinks they're a bit weird. He says, oh, they're men who haven't had enough beer in their life. And I'm like, Uncle Oz, I think they're men who have realised they haven't had enough dick in their life. Like most of your sexual partners, Uncle Oz. Recently the reason why I was inspired to fake come out to my dad is because of my cousin, Uncle Oz's daughter. She came out as a leser about 6 months ago, and her dad, Uncle Oz, just takes a piss out of her all the time. He says, oh, she's now a woman who loves comfortable shoes, she goes to Bunnings, not for the snags, and she loves to munch the map of Tassie. About a month ago, we're at a family barbecue and we're all eating in the backyard as good Aussie families do. And my Uncle Oz had a prawn, he busted the prawn and the juice went all over him. And my Uncle Oz saw his opportunity, looked at his daughter and said, oh, smells like fish. I bet all the lesos are going to be coming for me now. And around the whole family, none of us laughed. Not a single person laughed. We'd had enough, and my cousin had enough, and she said, so do you just hate women, or do you hate gays, or do you hate both, Dad? And my Uncle Oz looked around, and for the first time in his life, he didn't get a laugh at stupid jokes, and he said, I'm sorry, I guess I don't understand women. I feel like as if, like, you know, Eddie Maguire was at an Invasion Day rally. I just don't get it. That's probably why I've been single for so long. And in that moment, I felt really sorry for him. I thought back to his romantic career and his divorce from his wife. He had to get rid of her because she was such a fucking alcoholic that we all used to call her Auntie Amy Housewine. That's how much of a fucking drunk she was. And then he's been single for a couple of years. He's been going on these shitty dates, and they had one recently with this really, really rural woman who 5 minutes into the first date, she says, I'm on my blob, you're going to have to punch it up my shitter tonight. Translation, if we're going to have sex after our first date, I'm currently in a really awkward position of my menstrual cycle, so you're going to have to give it to me anally. And I just felt really sorry for my uncle in this moment. It's the first time in his life he just had to reconcile, had to change his whole thought about everything. My dad saw an opportunity. He was like, I'm not going to let my comrade in arms go down. And he got in there and banged on about his biblical plague of gay dicks falling on the house. And my uncle said, no. I get it. Gay sex isn't wrong because they do it doggy style. And as we all know, all dogs go to heaven. And so what I absolutely fucking love about that moment is my Uncle Oz has bested my even idioter dad with his two strongest weapons, with fucking dad jokes and theology. So Uncle Oz went up in fucking brownie points in the family that day, but he kind of lost it last week when he posted on Facebook. I think Hitler did have some good points. Thank you very much, Quiet Highlander! No one's doing a gig, huh? See you fucking Hungry Jacks!
Postponed till July 24th, apparently. Nobody really knows what's going on with that. I'm sure there's a bunch of people who work at Hungry Jack's in Spencer Street who just sit there going, yeah, alright, yep, yeah, alright, yeah, okay, fair enough, whatever you want to do. Cool, alright, July 24th, cool, alright. Give it up for Gavin Ingham! Let's bring this thing home! 2 more acts to go! One on stage is to Jeremy Joy, mate! Patronising right up here, come on!
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go!
Woo!
1, 2, 3, go!
Yeah!
1, 2, 3, go! Imagine I just did this for the next 10 minutes. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just fucking with you all. So I'm a little bit unwell at the moment, which you can't say. I learnt at a gig last night. I'm a little bit unwell. Everyone just recoils back in their seats, but it's fine. I hopped on Google Doctor. Turns out I've got bruised ovaries. Yeah, I was shocked. Not nearly as shocked as my new gynecologist. Very shocking for him. Hopefully it clears up soon. So I've had a bit of a confusing upbringing. I went to a Catholic school growing up. Hey, Butler. And so I went through that, and then I'd come home, and my stepdad was a communist Muslim. So I would go to school and spend all my primary school and high school trying to avoid Brother Touchy and Father Hansy, and then come home and try and avoid fighting for the cause. And I didn't know if I was fighting with my comrades or fighting to kill the infidels. Like, that was a very real thing. All I wanted to do was eat some bacon. Do you know how hard it is to smuggle bacon in a household where you're not allowed to have pork? Like, you bring in bacon and everyone is just like, oh, do you have bacon? Is that bacon? You can't cook that. I have to go to another suburb to have bacon and eggs growing up. Okay, that bit needs work. New bits. Fuck yeah, I love it when Kate is at a gig, it's the best. I think my housemate is a B grade actor. Because every now and then he'll forget his phone or his wallet in the house, and then he just overacts like he's in a shitty straight to DVD movie. Like, he'll walk out the house. And I live alone, so that's actually just me. I think I'm a B-grade overactor. But it's weird, because everyone does that. You walk out the house, you could be alone, and everyone in that moment becomes an overactor. And no one just walks out and it's like... Everyone walks out and they do the self-risking thing. And they're, oh, like there's someone in the bush watching them. Maybe that person in the bush is a Catholic priest. There we go, there in the end. Come on! Nailed it, bro. I'm going to tell a story now. I haven't comedied this story yet, so I just want to see what happens, see if there's bits there. This is a true story. So now that you can travel by plane again, I flew up to Sydney a couple of weeks ago, and it's taking up a lot of real estate in my brain. So I was sitting in the middle seat. And there's rules there about where you should put your arms and stuff like that. And I walk in and I sit in the middle seat, and the guy who had the window seat was basically straight out of 2006. Like, this guy, like, he was so fresh, 2006. This guy, he had I thought he was going to a fancy dress party themed 2006. He had a fluoro travesty t-shirt on and a Von Dutch trucker hat. I shit you not. And it was new. I don't even know where he got that. But this guy, as the plane takes off, he pulls out his laptop. And the dude was watching. Was hardcore cartoon porn involving all of the key male characters of The Simpsons running a train on Marge. This guy basically had a seizure at that point. Like, this guy was, you know when you walk through a spider web unexpectedly and you have a full-on conniption? This guy, he lifted up, realised that I was reading my magazine. If this guy wasn't like trying to like clear the page, clear the screen, he could have just moved the laptop lid down and done it discreetly, but he was freaking out. Like, I know, if, like, now I know what a Simpsons bukkake scene looks like. That is burnt in my brain because I couldn't not look. I'm like, this is fucking real life. Then, I haven't even like made any of this shit up as well. This is the bit, and it gets like fucking weirder. So then the next guy who had the aisle seat, he comes in, and this guy looked peak musical theatre. And then he pulls the ultimate fucking power move on me. Because he sits down and he lifts the armrest. What are you doing that moment? I'm sitting there like, who the fuck is this guy? What's going on here? This guy sits down, and it turns out old mate who lifted the armrest was a magician. Yeah, he was practicing card tricks and like floating coin tricks the whole time. That's not the weird bit. The armrest is not the weird bit. Actually, the armrest is a weird bit, but it's not that weird bit. The weird bit, so Virgin, they don't give you any food in their flights anymore. They used to, but now they don't. Halfway through, we're in the air, this guy out of his breast pocket opens it up and he pulls out a Ziploc bag with a single king prawn in it. Rips the head off, takes the legs off, deveins it, which is important, I think, eats the prawn, puts the bits back in the Ziploc bag, folds it up, puts it back in his pocket, like it was the most normal thing in the world, mid-flight, to pull out a body warmth temperature king prawn flying from Melbourne to Sydney. And here's the thing, like, thank fuck, like, you have to wear a mask on a plane, right, because I couldn't necessarily smell the prawn that was body temperature. But it was like I was in the shittest prank or home video show ever. I was looking around like, is this legit? Like, was this guy really watching a bukkake scene of The Simpsons while old mate the magician is eating a prawn? Like, I was waiting for Ashton Kutcher to like appear out of nowhere. It was wild. Somewhere Jo Beth Taylor is sort of like sitting up, being like, I'm gonna come back, Australia's funniest home videos. This is gonna be great. So, by a round of applause, is there something there to work with in that bit? Fuck yeah. Alright, I'm Jeremy Dooley. I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Dooley, round of applause. Come on, make some noise. Love a good Jo Beth Taylor fucking reference. Yeah, Brendan Vivola, Crown Casino, Jo Beth Taylor, look it up. An Australian career in entertainment, gone in a fucking heartbeat because they have cameras in the car park. What are you going to do? Jo Beth Taylor, Jeremy Dooley, can't we give it up? Now, this our final act for the night, he went and did a gig at bloody Hawthorn early on because he's a big fucking star. Does 2 gigs a night, you know, and he wasn't here earlier, so he'll have no idea how to do all those great Catholic priest jokes. So treat him kindly, okay, and he's definitely going to do a strict 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Carl Joseph!
He's a Highlander! Fucking love the energy in this fucking room. Let's fucking round of applause for Kieran and all the fucking acts tonight. It's been a fucking great night, hasn't it? Fuck yeah. I didn't have my fucking material at the last gig because I'm a shit cunt. So I don't have any material. material. Ever. I never have. But, what do you call this guy's past trauma? A Catholic priest. That was fucking
Pretty good, eh?
yeah, I didn't have any context. What is this Catholic priest shit? This is Father John to me. He gives me $50 and he doesn't fuck me. If a priest gives you money, at least, get ready for it. I was lucky because I didn't have to. He was just, hey, I know your mum and dad. Cool. I used to sing in the, children's boy choir. I still didn't get fucked. It was alright. It was a good, youthful life. Yeah. I didn't get fucked by priests and shit. I was just, good friends with my family. My mum spends way too much fucking time at church. People pray 1 hour every Sunday. This bitch is at church 6 days a week. This is gym for her religion. What the fuck are you training for? What the fuck, the fucking Catholic Olympics? Who's gonna present the best slideshow? Because my mum's killing that slideshow shit. She's got churches hey, can you do a slideshow for our church? And mum's like, yeah! She's popping. If there was a fucking Catholic slideshow dealer, she'd be there. She'd be the one. That's why hey, you got that good slideshow, the one about Jesus on the cross? Mum will be like, yeah. $50. And don't fuck my grandson. Is it getting there? This is a Catholic preaching. Is it getting there? No material, freestyle comedy. Fuck. I'm a fucking drug addict. I'm a junkie. And I'm probably the first one to ever admit it. I do drugs every fucking day. I have a job. I make money. I do comedy. I dance. I've danced in America to represent Australia for hip hop. I don't need a cheer. I just want you to know that a junkie can do that. Everyone's talking about how bad junkies are, they got no lives. Fuck it, look at the life I've lived. I've done ads and shit. The junkie! I need my fix! Every single hour, I need my fix. I need my shot. If it's not shot, it's heroin. If it's not fucking heroin, it's shit. But if it's not heroin, then it's fucking weed. If it's not weed, then it's alcohol. If it's not alcohol, then it's fucking period blood. And Father John's come. Father John! Father John! I've got a shot, come make it. Yeah, I'm a junkie. I'm a fucking junkie. And I'm functional. That's it. Everyone's talking about, oh, this junkie's a fucking homeless. No, this junkie has a fucking home with his parents. And this junkie works with his dad. And this junkie's dad knows that he's a fucking junkie. It's fucking hilarious. But my fucking parents are feeling I had the fucking shittest upbringing because I'm white as fuck. I'm the shittest Filipino in the world. I can't even speak my own language. That's how bad I am. I was born in fucking New Zealand. I just look like a Filipino, but I am so fucking far from. I'm so detached. I've got 2 dick tattoos. I'm pretty sure my dad thinks I'm gay. He's seen them and he's never really talked to me about them. I saw when he spent 5 minutes staring at the fucking dick tattoo on my neck and didn't say shit. I'd appreciate it if you fucking told me, what you thought about it at least. At least tell me you hate it or you feel at least ask me if I'm gay. Because I bring girls home all the time and he's just questioning himself I don't know if my son is gay or he fucks. Because he keeps bringing on pussy. But all I see on him is cock. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be my fucking dad either. Junkie, mess, fuck, dictates, like, what's next? Death. I got pretty close. When you're a fucking junkie this hard for like since 2013, like like my parents were like scared of me dying and shit. They're like, don't do drugs, and I'm like, I'm gonna do all the drugs. And then I told them I'd do all the drugs, and then they're like, don't do drugs, and I'm like, why? Because they're like, you're gonna die. I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking die. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I always know what I'm doing. They're like, no, you just fucking don't do drugs. And I'm like, no, I'll fucking do drugs. And then I had a seizure. It took a lot of years to get there. And a lot of fucking drugs. I used to make like 150k. Guess what that one? Fucking 20 pack of pickies every Thursday and Friday. Fucking, and I used to munch them like they were fucking mints, bro. Do you want a mint? Nah, I got 5. Fucking breast stinks, bro. Guess I've been having the wrong fucking mint. Like, fuck, yeah, my brain is permanently fried. Anyways, fucking shut up, cunt. Like, I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you for coming to the show. If that was worth anything, please donate. And fucking, yeah, thank you for coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Joseph! Well, those of us who sounded this shit right from the start will probably agree it was pretty fucking bumpy early on, but I think we brought it home pretty well, didn't we? Yeah!